Max, who do you think is a better fit at quarterback for the Colts? Is it Foles or is it Rivers?
It's Phillip Rivers. Now, let me say, I got to preface this by saying, Swagoo, I had Chris Mortensen on the Max Kellerman Show, ESPN Radio, 2 p.m. Eastern, yesterday, and he was adamant that they feel that the intelligence out of Indianapolis is they're confident that it'll be on the low end. They're optimistic, rather. It'll be on the low end of the timetable.
Good, that's great.
Both for Wentz and for Quentin Nelson, right? And that Phillip Rivers is committed to coaching the high school team, and that if it's just for a game or two early in the season, he's probably not going to come out of retirement because the timetable wouldn't be right anyway, and he probably wouldn't do it for that, okay? So that said, we're dealing with that. If the question is, unfortunately, like knock wood, this doesn't happen, but they're actually going to be out for a while, Wentz, and Quentin Nelson, the spectacular left guard for the Colts, then I would take Phillip Rivers over Nick Foles. And the reasons are pretty straightforward here. Phillip Rivers knows the situation in Indianapolis, especially you're missing your left tackle, you're missing your left guard for a while, especially when you need to make quick decisions. Give me the guy who already knows the offense. Give me the guy who's been there and successful. They had double-digit wins. Give me that guy in this situation, an Iron Man, by the way, who had a borderline Hall of Fame career, Phillip Rivers, and who clearly, like the fact that he didn't rule it right out means clearly he's interested. It's not like they move on from Rivers because they feel like, well, he's no good. That's not the reason. Maybe you think you can get a guy with more upside at this stage in their career, and maybe he was about ready anyway. But if he's willing to come back into this situation, look, Marcus, the one thing about Nick Foles, and I'm a huge Nick Foles fan, he needs a pocket. He needs a pocket like more than anyone. If he has a pocket to step into, he can be effective. But he was running for his life in Chicago, which is why it looked like he wasn't any good. And he'll be running for his life at the moment in Indianapolis. Give me Phillip Rivers.
So bringing in Phillip Rivers would just kind of recreate what you looking at last year, right? For a guy that's been out of football, coaching high school football, the dude that has not done any football activities is the best fit for you. That's you selling that on First Take right now.
Yeah,
okay.
right.
Nick Foles is the best fit. And it ain't about knowing the offense, because Nick Foles would know the offense too. And as much as people talk about Marcus Brady, we know damn well this Frank Reich's offense and his philosophy. It ain't no way that Carson Wentz is in Indianapolis first and foremost if it ain't for Frank Reich. And the last guy, coincidentally, the two guys that played above the level that we've seen them play at in the recent years was with Frank Reich, and that's Nick Foles and that's Carson Wentz. I get it from an emotional standpoint, what it would do to Carson's emotion. I'm not dealing in emotion. I'm one of the defense. I'm putting myself on this team. I'm putting myself in a situation where look, Max, to your point, we all know Phillip Rivers is a better quarterback than Nick Foles over the course of time. But Nick Foles was a Super Bowl MVP and had a phenomenal run under Frank Reich. And if you can get that, coincidentally, we may be, on the long end, we may be talking 4 or 5 games before Carson Wentz gets back. I can't think of a better guy than the guy that showed you in 4 or 5 games that I could play at the level you need me to play in order for us to win a Super Bowl, let alone open up a season with a tough schedule, with a great understanding and a grasp of an offense, more athletic than Phillip Rivers. I don't care what anybody says. Nick Foles is more athletic than Phillip Rivers. So when you talk about a clean pocket, that's most quarterbacks. That's your guy that was supposed to fall off a cliff, Tom Brady. He need a clean pocket too. Every damn quarterback needed a clean pocket.
And he had
one. I
one.
would much rather prefer one that can sidestep or move to the right or left a little bit better than the other one when they both have a grasp, and one has been out of football for the last 7 months doing nothing outside of working out and coaching high school football. Y'all emotions are getting to y'all with this situation. So it's a no-brainer for me. Now,
let me get this straight.
If we talking a picture of go ahead. Yep.
Let me get this straight. You said you know that Phillip Rivers is a better quarterback than Nick Foles. You're also aware that he quarterbacked this team.
In totality.
He quarterbacked this team, Phillip Rivers did, to double-digit wins last season, right? So you're aware of those two things. You're also aware that they brought in Carson Wentz. You're also aware that the Wentz and Quentin Nelson injuries, it ain't going to go past 5. We're operating under the assumption it's not going to go past week 5 or 6 of the football season, right?
Right.
Not even the halfway point. You're aware of all those things. You're also aware that they brought in Carson Wentz, and that clearly coach has said this thing that I think has alluded to the thing that we're all thinking, like, Carson Wentz got to get his head on straight. You know, you got to build Carson Wentz back up. Emotionally, psychologically, mechanically, everything. He's got to be built back up. And what you want to do, as a placeholder early in the seasons to win you enough games just to keep you competitive so that Wentz can then take the ball as the best version of himself and take you there, is bring in the guy who basically, even though we want to say it, wrecked him in Philadelphia. I mean, let's be honest. He took over the team late, won the Super Bowl MVP, took over the team like when they were 5-5, dead in the water the following year, when Wentz was kind of regressing, the team was flat. They caught fire, made it to the playoffs, beat the Bears at Soldier Field, came close to beating New Orleans at New Orleans in the playoffs, a hell of an attempted title defense. You want to bring that guy in to give Carson Wentz nightmares when he finally gets back, just to try to give yourself, you believe, I think mistakenly, a little bit better of a chance with an inferior quarterback to win a few early season games.
You're damn right, because you're betting on the same thing with Carson Wentz that you're betting on with Nick Foles. Am I missing something here, Charlie? Because you're an Indianapolis Colts fan, and I get it from the psychology part of it. That's where Max likes to live. But if we are predicating, all right, everybody grasp this and understand this. And then, Charlie, you tell me what you think, because I know you have an affinity for the Colts. If we are predicating Carson Wentz being rehabilitated, for the lack of better words, by Frank Reich and his career, why wouldn't we want to bring in the next guy that had the most success with Frank Reich? Why wouldn't we want to do that?
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.